Alrighty, welcome to Brunch with Besties podcast.
Hey.
So today, we're talking about toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know, right?
I'm Sherry Renee.
And I'm Chanel.
Our mission is to heal and help others as we heal and help ourselves through purpose-driven conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into the topic, we're going to start like we always do with a toast.
All right. So it is October. So I'm going to give my toast to breast cancer, to survivors, to those who have lost their lives. Shout out to you all, especially, you know, those people with it. My sister. So shout out to you. I love you. But it's a lot of women tackling this awful disease, and it's crazy. But shout out to everybody that's making it and choosing to live every single day, because it can bring you down mentally. But shout out to everybody, that's even the people who have been affected by it, as far as family members and everything like that.
And I would second that. We had a sorority slumber party last night, or sleepover, or whatever you want to call it. Nobody slept over, but we was there late. We all had on our pajamas. I don't know what that really is, but that's what we did. And one of my sorority sisters, she is a survivor, and nice. Now like her hair and stuff is starting to come back. Aww. And she was just, you know, telling us some of the things that she had to go through, and she had a double mastectomy, and it's a lot. Like it takes such a big toll on your body, and I'm just so like, in my mind, she's like a hero.
Absolutely, she is a hero.
Was pushing through and still living her best life, and I don't know how people do that, but yeah.
Hey, you gotta keep going. Once you realize like life is precious, and you know you can't let this take you down. You gotta fight. So yeah. So shout out to her. Yeah, yes. For sure.
That's Sora Renee Washington. Shouts out to you.
Yay.
All right, now let's break bread. What's going on, girl?
Nothing really. Again, I'm getting sick again. This Wisconsin weather is trying to take me out. I don't know if it's the weather here or if it's the school that I'm working in this year, but I just could not seem to recover. But it was like 80 degrees like earlier this week in Wisconsin, and then it was like 50 degrees. So, you know, we live in Wisconsin, and it is what it is with this weather. And it's been cold like every day since then. So I'm just trying to feel better, taking my emergency and, you know, medicine and all that good jazz. Yeah, stay over there.
I
said, don't cross the
mic.
I won't.
Yeah, that's crazy. But so a lot's been going on, man. Today was busy as ever. I feel like this whole weekend was just jam-packed. Like I said, we had some time with the sorors last night. This morning we had chapter meeting, and then my company was supporting an amazing event called the Wakanda Arts Festival. And so that's where I was just now. And, you know, I'm trying to get my health in order. So I ordered my treadmill. So I'm excited about that. I've been on it. I got to get my 10,000 steps in. I got my Fitbit.
There we go.
One of our listeners, Brittany, challenged me to a duel. And according to my Fitbit, she sprinted right past me today. Right.
So Brittany ain't playing
she ain't playing no games. So as soon as we get done recording, I'm going to go hop on that treadmill.
Listen.
And I'm going to show her who's boss.
Oh, I love the competition. Listen.
No, so shouts out to her. But yeah, so I'm just trying to, you know, get my life together, and I'm really trying not to get sick with you in here contaminating me, because I feel the need to put on a mask.
Oh no. No, you and I gonna be sick. I'm not gonna spread any germs.
Yes. Alrighty, let's talk about the tip. We are now reading a new book. We are reading Michelle Obama's Becoming.
Oh, yep.
Michelle Obama's Becoming. So you can get that on Audible. Use our free 30-day Audible trial, www.audibletrial.com/BWB. BWB is in Brunch with Besties. The link is always in our show notes, and it's also always in our Instagram link tree. Our Instagram is at Brunch with Besties podcast.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, yes. Okay. Let's get into tea time.
Yes.
So, the topic for today, as we said, is toxic masculinity.
Yeah, this has been everywhere lately. It's been in the news. It's been on shows. it's just been the topic of discussion like everywhere.
It really has been. And, you know, we've seen it with so many different people. I know Charlemagne got hit with a case.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's just been...
everybody.
Yeah.
So it was only right that we put our 2 cents in on the topic as well.
Same thing with R. Kelly's wife.
Yeah, she was on, was she on The View?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yes,
that was The View. And she was talking about it, how she has PTSD and all kinds of stuff, which is really sad. It's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, same thing with Dr. Christine Ford.
Yeah, okay. So let's start there.
Okay, you seem to have... Well, let's give some background.
Yeah, so Dr. Christine Ford, she accused the Supreme Court Justice nominee, Brett Kavanaugh, of sexually assaulting her.
When she was in high school.
Yeah. So this was many years ago. They both have like these amazing careers, blah, blah, blah. But she accused him of it. And she called for an FBI investigation of him. They went before the Senate. And did this hearing, and you know, she was like, I will give a polygraph, I will do whatever it takes to tell my side of what happened, because it happened. And you know, many of the Senate agreed that, you know, her story was consistent. She, like, it never changed, never wavered. She was willing to do X, Y, and Z to make sure that, you know, she was being accurate and honest as could be. And you know, many of you probably saw Brett Kavanaugh and, you know, how he reacted to the Senate hearing, and he's like crocodile tears and just not willing to be, you know, to go to do a polygraph or anything like that. So it shows you a lot of this privilege that he has as far as like being a man and being a white man in this position. But I want to say today, I don't know if you've all been following it, but today he did get the votes. He will be confirmed as the Supreme Court.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yes, he did.
Breaking news? No.
Breaking news. So I saw that this morning, and it was really, really unsettling. And the crazy thing is because the vote was like 11-10. And he got that win vote from a woman senator, which was crazy. Like, really? Like, this is what you're doing? But I want to say to anybody that has been sexually assaulted, don't let this lose sight of what you've gone through, and your voice, because for me, it makes me think about just my own sexual abuse and how that has impacted me and affected me with not really saying anything about it for so long. And to think of the woman that I could be if that, one, never had happened to me, or two, if I would have said something earlier on. So I want to say to any survivors or anybody going through that don't let this continue to make you be silent or feel like, okay, well, I can't say anything because he's getting away with it. He's doing that. We see this so much in the media, that these men are just getting away with it. There really is no consequence for it. But this one really, like, it made me feel some type of way. Like, he has the highest seat in the land in the legal system. And it's like, okay for him to do that. And it's not okay for him to get away with doing it. I don't care how old he was. I don't care if it was 30, 40, 50 years ago. You did that to this woman, and it impacted her in some way, shape, or form. I just think it's ridiculous. And, you know, we got to make sure we vote, y'all. Like, for real. These primaries are coming up in November. Vote. You have to. We got to vote. So. But
not only that, but the way that everything was done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you just look at how, you know, she's being undermined, second guessed, and everything else. And I forget this quote that Charlemagne has, but it's to the effect of, even if you don't believe the accuser, like, don't undermine them.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't, you know, like, you don't have to call them names.
Right.
Just respectfully disagree.
Exactly.
You know, like, you don't need to do all that other stuff. But I know I was watching, I caught a little, actually I didn't catch the original, but I was listening to another channel that covered a story, and it was talking about how, you know, I guess when she was getting ready to give her testimony, she wasn't properly introduced. Like, when they introduced Brett, Kavanaugh, they went through and highlighted all his accomplishments and things like that, and just kind of made it seem like what he was being accused of was really inconsistent with who he is as a person. And so then when it got to the lady whose name I do not recall, but when it got to the lady, she said, since you weren't properly introduced, let me go ahead and do that.
Come on.
Oh, it was oh no. Okay, I thought I had that. Maybe I had the name. But in any case, she was just like, hey, you got a bachelor's degree from North Carolina.
Listen.
You got 2 master's degrees, one from Pepperdine. I forget what the other one is from Stanford. You got a PhD. Like,
Listen.
she just was like, let me talk about who you are.
Right. Let's run it down.
Right. Let me run this. Right.
I love that.
Like, she pretty much read him.
Liz, well deserved. Like, what we not gonna do is front like this woman is not brilliant in her own right. Like, she's amazing too. So
it was the chairman. So Chairman Chuck Gladsley, he was introducing her, and he just like kind of bypassed all of that.
That's so disheartening.
Yeah.
Like, really? And and to say, it's funny that this is all happening again, because, you know, Anita Hill went through this same thing. And shout out to Anita Hill. She's, you know, a wonderful member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. But shout out to her. And it's the same stuff over and over again. Like, if a woman is like, hey, this happened to me, like Charlamagne said, whether you agree or disagree, but don't knock that she's saying that this happened to me.
Especially if you weren't there.
Right.
So you just don't know.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. Especially, it's been 30 years and my testimony has not changed in this time. There's some, like, truth to that. Like, no, you cannot get away with this. And then his supporters, like, women on TV, like, you know, they were just in high school, like, boys will be boys, this boys will be boys mentality. No, like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Boys will be, what does that even mean? Boys will be boys.
Charlamagne has also been saying that there's a certain rape culture that we've been allowing,
for sure,
and we haven't perceived it as such. But he was like, you know, after reflecting, a lot of stuff that we've been doing that he participated in,
absolutely,
has been totally contributing to this rape culture.
Absolutely, and I love his transparency in all of this, and I'm glad he's recognizing it, especially with him being a man who has 3 daughters. Like, he has girls,
yeah.
So you see it. I mean, I'm sure he's seeing it in a much different light to say, like, now, would I want somebody to treat my girls in this manner? No, of course not. And me, even being a woman who has a son, do I ever want to hear my son talking crazy to a woman or being disrespectful or, you know, talking to her demeaningly? No, I don't want that for my son. This is not how you treat women. I don't care. So this locker room talk, this boys will be boys type of mentality, we have to step away from that. Women are not just objects or things to oogle over or play things no, we're brilliant. We out here doing stuff. We're doctors, lawyers, teachers, bosses, entrepreneurs, everything. So we need to be treated as such. And it's really starting to get ridiculous now at this point where it's all these accusations and nothing is happening.
The assumption is that there's always a motive, an ulterior motive. So, for example, with R. Kelly's ex-wife, it was, oh, does she want money? Does she want attention? Like, what's the ulterior motive here? Why all of a sudden now are you speaking out? And that actually really pisses me off when people always say, like, oh, why you gonna bring it up now? I'll bring it up whenever I want to. Okay?
Like, how you gonna tell me
when to bring it up? I'll bring it up when I feel like it.
And people don't know the type of trauma that people go through or the sense of guilt. It's so many steps to that. Like, it doesn't matter when I tell, as long as I tell and get it out.
It's crazy because then, you know, when they try to put it on the man, then it's like, well, we gotta fully vet it and do all of this and do like it's just so it's crazy. But at any rate, I was reading something and it said that when it comes to rape, false reports are very rare, and it's really 2 to 8%. But 1 in 5 women are indeed actually experience rape. 1 out of 5.
That's crazy.
Yes. 1 out of 5.
Wow.
2 to 8% are a lie. So, and then even when you think about Bill Cosby, even after 60 accusers came, they still were like, nah,
yeah, right.
Like, he didn't do that.
He didn't do it. Right. And So since we're there with Bill, and I'm not laughing because this is not a funny matter at all, for sure. But Bill is guilty. I mean, and he admitted that he did this. He said, I did this at one of the hearings and recorded testimony. So he admitted to being in the wrong, for sure. So he deserves whatever he got. The sentencing that he got, he deserves it. My problem with that is our justice system is so flawed. Like, it's so many of this happening, but this one, like, it was swift. Like, oh, we have to make an example out of him is what I feel like has happened. But then on the flip side, you let somebody be the Supreme Court judge. Like, I don't understand.
Here's the problem that I have with with the justice system, right? So the justice system is supposed to provide equal punishment, right?
It's supposed
to make things just or make things right
or equal.
Make
there
things fair.
There we go.
Right? It's supposed to be fair, but it's never fair because the person determining the sentence has some sort of prejudice. It's the same reason why. Oh my God! It's the same reason why Black people are being imprisoned or incarcerated at a higher rate than white people. It's the same reason why we don't believe when somebody is accusing someone of his stature, right? But my brother was falsely accused of rape, and they came and arrested him in the middle of school.
Immediately,
if you a black male,
right.
they gonna come and
They're
get you. They're not gonna fully vet. So, like, for him, they were like, "No, we need to investigate." They didn't investigate or do nothing. They just came and arrested him and put him right in jail.
Right. Take away his, like, they embarrassed him. Like, they do all of these steps to kind of diminish your character, who you are. And I feel like that's totally what happened in this case with Bill Cosby. Don't get me wrong, he guilty. Go to jail. Like, you deserve that.
But you know what I wish could happen? And I mean, obviously in this case it was so public, so I don't know how to get around that. But in order for something to truly be just and or fair, again, you have to remove the prejudice. Like, I wish that some like third party or somebody could do a deliberation without knowing who it was, but only the facts.
Gotcha.
31-year-old male accused of, blah, blah, blah. Like, give all that, but without knowing who it is.
If only we could do
and
that.
It's just that black outline.
Yeah, like a screen. Like a smoke screen. Or we gonna change their voice like we did
like we did on the last episode. Shouts out to Duke for that.
Duke can do it, so we need to do shit at justice system. Blanking people out.
No, but I think that is how you would likely get. But you know what? I wonder if you would do that then if they showed you who it was and would they renege.
Like, we just kidding.
They be like, you sentence somebody to life and then find out like it's your boy, right? It's Brett,
Brett Kavanaugh, 45,
right. And then it's like, then they're like, oh no, just kidding, we want to renege.
that wasn't real,
right?
And it is so crazy. So I wish we could do something like that too. But I do think there's this culture, and it's not new, this rape culture.
But I think that we do it too, because like you said, even a woman. So even when you think about elections, you know how we said so badly, nobody, even women were second guessing, can a woman run this country?
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's part of our culture.
Absolutely. And I'm totally guilty of that. During the 2016 election, I was so thinking like, well, my thing with it was with Hillary that I was like, well, her husband cheated on her publicly. And you can't slide back from that. Like, you can't handle your
I'm
house.
Not gonna lie.
That played a part in it for me. I'm like, well, you can't even run your house, so how can you run the country? So I was just really like, oh no. But I voted for her. I will say that.
I still did too, but I did it begrudgingly. Well, it was like the lesser of two evils. Like, I was like, well, I'm not going to vote for him, so I guess I'm going to have to vote for her.
That's absolutely what I did. But I'm like, if Michelle Obama was to be like, I'm going to throw my hat in this election, I'm totally going to vote for her. Like, she's strong, she's educated, like, she can do, like, her house is running smoothly, her man not out here, do whatever you want to do. She got her man not in check, but they're a good team.
But in check, though.
But in check. But yeah, that was totally a factor. So that is a thing with us women
that
too.
Totally factored into my whole deliberation and determination of how I wanted to vote and how I felt about it as well. But then I was also like, okay, but that says more about him than it does about her, right? This is more about Bill than it does about Hillary.
That's true.
But it's a reflection of him, not her. And we don't know how they resolve things. We don't know what happened behind closed doors. But I think it would have been really dope for her to have kicked him out.
It would have really.
Like, yeah, like she would have been like, I'm a boss.
Listen,
You know?
I'm just thinking back to like Scandal with when the lady was trying to run for president and her husband, she was like, yeah, no, like you about to be in the shadow, like this is all about me, like you got to go. So if she would have totally done it, like I'm gonna divorce you, like that would have been,
we would have had a single woman.
Yes, that would have been huge. Like, and I would have totally respected her for that.
Yeah,
like she got rid of him.
I would have probably
like,
been recruiting people.
Yes, like Hillary for president.
Yes.
Like we got this. Like she a real
I would have
one.
been out there with my pen on, Hillary for president.
Yes,
campaigning.
Listen, I would have totally went door to door with her, but she didn't.
But since she didn't, I just checked the box like or drew the line.
Yeah, it just made her look a little weak in that sense, where it's just like, dude, your husband out here make you look crazy. So you know, now you got a whole country that you got to worry about, and these other countries gonna try to play you and make you look crazy. So we can't have that. But I did vote for her. But we do have that culture as far as women is concerned. And even with all of these, you know, sexual assault allegations, there are women too who are like, no, like, well, she should have said something, or just a lot of stuff. And it's just like, sis,
no,
chill.
I
like,
think
you don't
her
know.
intention was to say, hey, let me give you guys a full scope of this man's character. You then make the decision.
Yep.
Y'all decide what you gonna do with it.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna give you the information.
And I love that.
Yes.
That she did that. Because, I mean, you not gonna not.
But because she got so much backlash, like how many other women are gonna not speak up now?
And that's what I'm afraid of. And that's why I wanted to preface this episode with that, to say, like, don't let this deter you from speaking your truth, no matter what. And I feel like for some of these young girls who are watching this happen, that could possibly happen, where they're like, well, I'm not going to say nothing because it's not going to change. Right. It's not going to change anything. Nobody's going to believe me. People going to make fun of me. It's hard to be brave and to step out and say, well, this is what happened to me. And to not, I mean, like I said, even in my own situation, to not say anything for so long and to bury that so deep in me, I felt guilty. Like, well, maybe it was something that I did.
Exactly.
But bro, you was like 7 years old.
Right.
You don't know what's happening. So it's all of those pieces where you're like, well, I don't want to say anything about this.
And not only that, but she was probably thinking like, okay, should I have been at that party anyway? Why did I go upstairs?
She trying to figure it all out.
Like, what the heck? Good thing I had on that swimming suit or whatever she had, a bodysuit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it may have saved her life.
It sure very well may have saved her life. And it's just unfortunate because this...
And then she even said that she thought that he was going to accidentally kill her. Because of the pressure that was being put on her body.
That's crazy. And he is just... Listen, y'all. I was talking to a coworker, and it's totally, and I've probably said this on the pod too, but right now totally feels like we are living in the Twilight Zone. Like none of this stuff that's happening right now feels real. Like it feels like an alternate caricature universe. Like what are we doing? Like we have a president that's a joke completely, and I'm listen, I think they got my phone tapped now because, you know, we got that text message the other day. So I've been talking real reckless about 45, and I'm like, I don't care.
Listen, come get me.
Listen, you know my location. Right. My location turned on. So I've been talking real crazy.
Dude turned their location on.
A mess. But I'm really like frustrated and upset, where it's just like, this is gone on too far. And I'm kind of glad it happened. I think Charlamagne alluded to this, like, or maybe it was Lil Duval. It was somebody, like, we needed to see this.
Yeah. Like
the real of this country, that it they wanted us to put on these rose-colored glasses to make it seem like the country has changed and it was progressive. But it's really not. And I'm glad we are seeing what we're seeing right now.
That carpet and saw all the mess that got
Ooh, yes, under, for sure. And I'm glad.
Back closet.
Ooh, I'm the back of the closet, for sure. I'm glad we're seeing that right now. But it's really a joke. And it's unfortunate that we have all of these people who are in power positions and they just live in a reckless lives. Like all reckless.
Untouchable.
Like too much power
will do.
For sure.
Because even when you think about that young man, and I do not remember his name, but the one who got murdered when the officer came to the wrong apartment.
Jean I can't pronounce it, but it's like a French type of name. But sure, in Dallas.
Yes, in Dallas. And now it's like, oh, we found marijuana in his home. And I'm like,
Listen.
Literally, that has nothing to do with this story. Y'all are not going to criminalize him.
Trying to demoralize his character.
So now, because y'all found some marijuana in his apartment, now he deserves to die?
Yeah, right. Like, really?
Okay. That's out of scope.
And it had
like,
nothing
stop
to
bringing
do
me
with
information
right.
that has nothing to do with this.
Right.
Like, let's stick to the facts. His door was unlocked. She came to the wrong place.
His door wasn't even unlocked. Like, he unlocked the door because she was trying to get in. So his door was not unlocked. The door was locked.
I read something that said that it was unlocked.
No, child. The door was locked. She's like fumbling and tussling at the door. So he like, what's going on?
Right, so he goes to check it out. She draws a weapon.
Right.
Feels fearful of her life. And it's funny because I feel like
house.
we're kind of jumping around. So like the theme here is this toxic, not only masculinity but white privilege,
for sure.
Right? But it just shows up in so many different ways, because when you really think about it, if anybody should literally be fearful of their lives, it should be us. We were the ones that were enslaved. We were the ones that were forced to assimilate. We were the ones that couldn't speak our own language. We were the ones that were raped. We're the ones that don't even have an identity, because we got, hey, Simmons is a plantation.
Listen,
right? That is not my real last name. So if anybody should be fearful, it should be us. Police were created literally to chase, capture, and kill slaves. So if anybody should be upset and should feel fearful of someone, it should be us.
For sure. I agree 100% that. I feel like, you just spit bars, so that was perfect.
If anybody wants to sign me, I'm just
contact my manager.
Right.
That's me, Chanel.
And I want my 20%.
Hey, for sure. But no, that's accurate AF. It should be. And I don't understand how, these police officers are getting away with it. There was a silver lining, just a little silver lining with the officer in Chicago. He was convicted, which was good. So, injustice is happening everywhere, man. We definitely got to make sure that we are staying on top of it and making sure that, we protecting each other. So the officer, Jason Van Dyke in Chicago, he was found guilty of the murder of Laquan McDonald, who was a unarmed kid minding his own business. And Jason decided, as the officer, I'm just take you out today, because I have that privilege to do that. And he's going to jail now, which is great.
Man, that's crazy. Meanwhile, Zimmerman is signing Skittles.
Girl, when I saw that, I was just like, okay, y'all. I don't listen.
Like, how did you become a celebrity?
I don't want to wish death.
First of all, they raised money.
Girl, I don't want to wish death on anybody. That's not what I'm here to do and to say. However, one of these goons from Chicago or any, hood in the U.S., we need you to take one for the team. Now, like, I don't understand.
No. But here's the thing, though. I agree that you don't get to decide how people react to you.
True.
You know what I mean? So that's why you got to be careful what you do, because you don't get to pick the reaction. Be it right, wrong, or indifferent. You do not get to decide how someone reacts. But that really hurt my heart.
It was on crazy.
So many levels.
And he's just smiling and kikiing and just going on about his life.
Crazy.
When you took this young man's life for no reason. Like, for what? Like, he should be here right now, today, with his family in college.
How did you feel about the petition to get Charlamagne off the Breakfast Club for his rape allegations?
I thought that I felt like it was a little extreme. And for me, not to be biased or anything, like, if he did what he was being accused of, then that would be one thing. But he was very open and honest about what he did and what happened.
So let's give him some background.
Go back
on what happened. Jump in.
Okay.
But so a young lady named Jessica Reed, she said that he apparently raped her years ago. I believe, was she 17 at the time?
Yeah.
Something like that. And so he fully cooperated and he provided DNA samples.
Yep.
Actually, at the time, I believe she went and reported that I think she went to the hospital and they confirmed that she had been raped.
Yeah.
He then, when he was accused, he provided a DNA sample and they said that the DNA results did not match. So then he pled guilty to delinquency of a minor, because he's saying that I think he threw the party, but then he left.
Okay.
And so at the time, I want to say she was 17.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So he is saying, yes, I did do that, but and I'm sorry that this happened to you, but I can't take responsibility for actually raping you,
right?
Because per the DNA results,
wasn't me. And rape that's something to be accused of. Like, that's really, like, these are strong words that you're accusing me of. Like, that could totally, like, ruin everything that I've ever built. Just that one accusation alone. So I'm glad he was cooperating, and he did do that DNA sample, because I thought it was a little extreme. Like, I feel like we jumped the gun. Like, we want, like, oh, like, take him away before we know all the facts. And in today's world and media and society, you have to be careful with what you take in as facts and what's just like hearsay or rumors or things like that. So I'm glad he was open and honest and like, look, this is what happened. I'm gonna get my DNA. Like, let the facts show. And if the facts show that, oh, you did rape her, oh, he gotta go. Like, you can't be on the air. Like, you lose your job. You don't get to keep doing it. But if his name was clear, the DNA didn't match, then okay, then go about your business. But I wouldn't, if I was a man, want to be accused of rape when I know that that's not something that I've done to somebody, because those are really harsh words. You could lose everything over that, as you should if you were a rapist. Right. Don't get me wrong, if you raping people, you don't deserve to have anything, because it's too many prostitutes and women out here who will just I don't know. It's women that'll allow you to have sex with them if they want to. But don't go taking it from people. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I don't agree to that.
Forever changing them.
For sure. Like, that does a lot to you, to a woman. So I don't do that. Don't do that, because just ask. If she say no, then just go. Just ask. All you gotta do is ask.
Like, you want some water?
Hey, what? Just ask. If she just like, nah, then
shoulder shrug and move on.
Just keep going. It's okay. So don't take it.
Just ask.
For sure.
That's
so crazy. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. That was extreme. But I'm glad his name was clear, because like I said, he has 3 girls. He has a wife. Like, that could have taken him out with that accusation. But I'm glad she spoke up about what happened to her, and hopefully she finds out who actually raped her, or whatever happens.
One story
from
that I was reading said that I guess when the girl and her friend arrived, they were drinking something, and then one of them passed out and went and ran into the other room when she woke up, and the friend, the one who accused Charlamagne, Jessica Reed, said that she had been raped. So it could be one of those things where maybe they're not sure who, or maybe they last person they saw was him, or maybe in her mind she really thinks it was him.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, and these are things that we need to be teaching our young people about, this culture, what's acceptable, what's appropriate, what's inappropriate. We need to be teaching them that stuff now, because they're so like wrapped into what they see in movies or videos or video games, where it's appropriate to misuse yourself in that way. So we definitely need to start teaching our boys, especially, and teaching our girls to speak up and to
but it is a culture, though.
It is,
because even now, mind you, there are like male strip shows and things like that, but typically when you think of a stripper, it's a woman. A prostitute is usually a woman. If you go to like even bike shows and stuff like that, you will see half naked women. Car shows, you will see half naked women.
Wow. It's just, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, why? Like, I get it, because women are beautiful.
Quote unquote models are hired to work different events.
Yeah,
and their job is to flirt with guys to get leads and and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's heavily ingrained in our culture.
It sure is, and I agree. Like,
but I think that there's a fine line. So, when you and I were having a conversation, and you told me something that shocked the heck out of me. You said in the state of North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
If you're
North Carolina is the dumbest state ever.
Like, if you're engaging in a sexual act, and then so if you started off with consent.
Yep.
it's consensual.
Yep.
The whole way through.
Even if you stop and be like, no, stop. Like, he can still go and finish.
Right. So if things change, if you're like, this was cool, but now you trying to do some extra stuff that I ain't comfortable with.
Nope.
No, this ain't working for me. You invited in another person. Oh, no.
Nope.
Now it's just consensual?
It's consensual in North Carolina. Like, you cannot accuse them of rape or sexual assault or misconduct or any of that. It's ridiculous. That is crazy. Like, no, it's my body. And that's another thing. Like, I feel like this country, and I'm sure there are other countries too that are far worse than America for sure. Like our Middle Eastern countries, they don't respect women at all. But in America too, it's just like, how can you tell me what to do with my body? Like, it's mine. You cannot regulate what I choose to do with my body. So if I'm saying no, I don't want you to have sex with me, like, that's not okay, then no, it's not okay. Like, you cannot tell me that I can't say no. I don't care if it is mid-stroke, whatever. I don't want you to do this anymore. You have to stop. Or you can't tell me, like, I can't have an abortion. It's my body, whether I want to or not, or regardless of, like, the religious aspects of it, but it's still my body. Like, you can't tell me what to do with my body. So I think once we get that, and I know that's been the topic of discussion for a lot of what's going on as far as political and politics, and when you vote, like, it's a lot of that up in the air, like women's choice to do what they want with their body, and not being able to regulate like what we can do with our bodies.
I was just wondering, like, is there any case where men can't do something with their body? I don't know what that would be.
Right.
But
that's good. We have to look that up. But I don't think so. Like, I don't really think there is. There's nothing, which is crazy.
Yeah, they just be out here wilding out with their body.
Listen, sowing the seeds everywhere, child. Do whatever they want. It's really crazy. But I did want to bring up too, there was another story. It was so sad, y'all. And I saw it yesterday on Facebook, and I'm not a big Facebooker, but I had happened to be on there, and there was like a thread of a young lady who, her name was LaShonda Childs. Have you heard of this story?
No.
Oh, so sad. But it was a thread on Facebook. She had posted on her status to say, like, domestic violence is real. So to give a little background, this young lady is 17 years old. I want to say they were in Chicago. Maybe it was in Chicago, but she's 17 years old. She was dating this guy. He was 28, but he lied and told her he was 20. So she didn't figure that out till later. But he was like harassing her on throughout, like being verbally abusive, physically abusive. And she was posting about it on Facebook. Like, she wrote a status one day and was like, man, like, domestic violence is real. Like, if you're in this situation, get out of it. Like, I just want him to leave me alone. I did a restraining order, all this stuff. So people are like commenting, and then the dude that she was dealing with, he's commenting like, yeah, just call me back. Like, I got these gifts for you. Like, I'm trying to come see you or whatever. And she's not responding to him. But her friends are like, hey, you need to chill. Like, leave her alone. She doesn't want to be with you. Mm-hmm. So then she posted another one like, yeah, I had to get away from him. He like burned me. Like, he tried to burn me. Like, this is crazy. Like, I just don't want to be in this situation. So this was another post a different day. And then yesterday I get on Instagram and he murdered this young lady.
Oh my God.
Yes. So I was like really in my feelings about it. Like, this girl is on Facebook, like, saying, like, I want to get out of this situation. Like, help me. This is my SOS. Like, I don't want to be in this situation. And people aren't taking it as what's really going on, because, you get on social media and people capping and, just lying and all kind of stuff. But this was really her SOS. This dude, like, she's in the car with another guy. He shoots her in the head, kills her. And now he's in jail. Like, this is true story. Like, I even had to go back. Like, is this real? Like, this is crazy. But then, yeah, I saw his mugshot and everything yesterday. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, 17 years old. Kills her. Like, how? Like, how do you even do that? Like, you feel like you have ownership over this young lady that much, where you like, well, if I can't have you, then nobody can have you. Like, yeah. That is scary. Like, 17, like, I couldn't imagine being 17 in that situation.
Well, at 17, there's only so much that you know.
True, for sure. Yes.
About the world and how to even deal with stuff and should I escalate it? Should I not? Should I do a restraining order? Am I tripping? And especially when people start to plant doubt in your head, like that's the worst thing about people who are victims of any type of assault or abuse, and they go and they're trying to make a report, and then they're like, are you sure? What were you wearing?
Exactly. What were you doing? What did you say?
Yep. Yeah. Or did you like?
Yeah.
And then you like, did I?
Listen. Right. You start second guessing yourself. We have to get away from that, and to say and to know that, you know, this young lady was, and she did her due diligence. She had a restraining order against him. Like she was taking the steps to get away from him. Like, what more can you do when our justice system isn't backing that domestic violence piece? And you see that story so much too, where women file restraining orders, the dude finds them, kills them. Again, I'm directly linked to that as well. Same thing happened to my mom. She was dealing with this man. She got away from him, restraining order, all that. He breaks in our house and tries to kill my mom. So it's just like, yes, like, this is crazy. Like, what more do I need to do to tell y'all? And then when the police comes, like, she's coherent enough to be like, he did this. Like, he beats her in the head with a metal pipe, like, tries to take my mom out. Luckily, this is at a time my mom used to like go out and party, so she was inebriated. So the alcohol was like slowing her blood flow down. So she was definitely like, okay, he did this. He tried to kill me. He broke in my house. He tried to kill me. She blacks out. They take her to the hospital or whatever. He only does like a couple years in jail. Like, really? First of all,
isn't that attempted murder?
Listen, attempted murder, breaking and entering, like
physical assault,
this
like,
is everything.
It's gotta be
like
11 counts or something.
It's something. It's a lot. So it's just the way we even treat the abuse and the misuse of women in this country is just crazy to me. Like, it really is ridiculous. So yeah, every time I see something like that, one really like hurt my heart to hear that she was just 17 years old and she was trying to get away from this dude, and he shoots her in the head. Like, 17. It's crazy. It's crazy.
When you really have your whole life ahead of you.
Right.
You should be like bright-eyed, bushy tail.
Yes. Getting ready to go to college or whatever she was doing.
Or getting ready to graduate. Shoot, that's enough. That's enough excitement.
Right.
About to be done with high school.
Oh, my goodness. And he just takes that all away because of jealousy. And, you know, who's to say that he doesn't have... And I don't want to make excuses, because what he did was terrible. And he should go to jail, and he should get whatever punishment that he deserves. But to think like, okay, well, is there some mental health issues? Like, what happened in his childhood? Like, I'm really intrigued. Like, what behaviors did you pick up to even do that? Like, he's only 28. That's not, I mean, it's pretty young too.
But I mean, he also lied and manipulated her from the beginning,
from jump.
And I think that goes back to the toxic masculinity that you're talking about. You know, like he has a certain level of kind of authority over her. So it probably took her a long time to even get to the point to say like, okay, let me go and file and try to get a restraining order.
I'm sure it did.
He was probably like, that's a piece of paper. I don't care.
Right. This don't matter to me. Like, what that piece of paper gonna do? And clearly it don't do nothing, apparently.
And I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do in terms of safety when it comes to stuff like that. So this one time, I was at, I don't know if I was with y'all or where I was, but we were at a hotel. I don't know who I was with. Maybe it was with y'all for like somebody's birthday. But there was a girl in the room next door to whoever I was with. Some group of one of my friends. I don't know.
It was somebody.
One of y'all.
No, this story sounded vaguely familiar, so keep going.
And she had a son, and the baby was in there crying. So he was maybe like a toddler.
No, that was us. That was for Lakeisha's birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was clearly beating her. Yeah. Like, clearly beating the heck out of her, and that baby was crying. And we called the police.
Yeah, thank God.
Right. And they, you know, but first, well, I remember I called the hotel manager first because I really wanted them to call the police, because I didn't want to call the police. I was like, look, I ain't
gonna be looking for me. Hey, you don't want to get no domestic violence.
I don't want to get involved. No. You know, I want her to be safe,
right?
But I don't want to be involved.
Black out, my right?
Try to do a voiceover, like, you know. But it got to a point where it's like, first you start to suspect, like, okay, maybe they were clearly arguing.
Oh, sure.
But then I think when it got to the point that I realized that she wasn't arguing back, that it was really just him arguing with her, and then you could hear the slaps and the kid crying. Then it was like, okay, I remember calling the front desk multiple times, and their solution was to get us a new room. which we did eventually take, but it was like, no, I need you to call the police.
Right. There's so what
I'm not making a noise complaint, fool. I'm telling you that somebody in here is physically assaulting a woman in front of her child.
So what if he would have pulled out a gun and like shot her in the hotel room?
Right.
Now y'all liable too, because y'all not doing nothing.
Then the police came and arrested that man. And I saw that girl in the hallway, and she looked like she wanted to kill me. Like she was upset. But I was just like, hey, she don't know it was me, because I had that call.
Hey, listen,
not me.
it wasn't me.
Yeah, because I was just like, well, he ain't going to be hitting you no more tonight.
Exactly. At least
maybe
today.
tomorrow.
Hey, and that's on,
maybe the next day, but not tonight.
And that's
not on my watch. This is crazy.
That's disheartening. I mean, and that happens so much too, where, you know, the women are helped and the police do come, but then they go back. And that's some psychological stuff that's going on.
It is, but and you never know what the dependency is on him and what he's conditioned her to believe or anything like that. But I'm
glad you all stepped in and made that call. But yeah, that was definitely us, and I was there. But I think I had left, but I remember that story. So that's what happened.
It was crazy. Like, I was like, this is just way too much.
It is. Oh, that's so sad.
And then so I was listening to the story about R. Kelly's wife, and you know, they were questioning why she was coming forward now, and she was like, it's not about money, it's not about attention, it's about hearing stories that these girls are making, and it resonates in my spirit because that was my story. So I have to back them. I have to stand up. I have to let people know that she talked about her being hogtied.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. She said he hogtied him. She talked about how he was assaulting her in the back of a Hummer, and how she has like PTSD from it. And every time when she would see a Hummer, she would start like shaking and just being just like so nervous and erratic every time she came in contact with a Hummer. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, everybody want to know what's in it for you. Why are you doing this now? Why aren't you looking at him? Like he secretly married Aaliyah when she was like 15.
So
like, let's just look at this man's character.
Listen, let's look at the rap sheet.
Then he pretty much put out a song saying that he pretty much did
Age ain't nothing but a number. Listen,
right.
It's so much dirt on this man that's just continually swept under the... I don't even understand how he's still just out here freely doing whatever he wants to do.
Well, because the women now are denying... The women that live in the house with him now are denying
what
the claims. Like, they're like, no, like, we just live here.
Oh my goodness. No,
we're like roommates.
No, and you know what? After a while, like even me, you know, I was getting my TP2 on, and
let me tell you something about TP2.
It's a good album. All that. Rolling around on the front. Hey, that was a good album. Now. But after that, like, once more of these allegations started to come forward, I was like, wait a minute.
I might go down TP2 right now.
Listen, I'm like, something ain't right with R. Kelly. And then when I watched that Boondocks episode about R. Kelly.
Oh my God.
Facts. Like, we love him so much.
We
just gonna let him do it.
Oh my God.
He calls himself the Pied Piper.
The Pied Piper.
Now, y'all, the Pied Piper is this mystical person that plays a flute, and the kids follow behind him. The children. He's calling himself the Pied. He telling us what he doing.
It's funny because the satire in the Boondocks, like they were like, oh, like they had video of him. He was like, yeah, this is Robert Kelly. My social is as he's like peeing on this girl. Like, because it's like, here's all the information, here's all the facts, here's everything.
But we still dancing and rocking out to his music at court. Like, we just having a party. Like,
man,
it's really crazy that, you know, after all of these years, he's still like, so are we gonna wait till he's like 82 and then to finally be like, oh, now we don't put you in jail? Like, no.
And it even says it's Pied Piper is one who leads others into danger or trouble by means of elaborate and false promises. Like, it's just crazy.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's really, I didn't know that piece, but okay. Y'all, who is it? Like, district attorneys? Like, if y'all know that, like, that's ridiculous. Leads them into danger? Yeah. No. No.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the R. Kelly story.
That,
you know, I even went to an R. Kelly concert when I was in. Yep, me and Scarlett went when we were in college.
See, that's that TP2 drop.
It was. Yeah, because I was like, I want to go see Robert Kelly.
Yes, TP2 was a fire album. Now, anything after that, now that we all grown, I just be like, really? Like, I don't even think radios really play his music too much either. At least here in Milwaukee, they don't. I haven't heard no R. Kelly song on the radio in a long time. So, but yeah, it's really crazy. This toxic masculinity where you think you're entitled to these women because of, you know, statue or status or whoever you are. But it's like, no, you're not entitled to this. But then it goes back to mental health. Like, what kind of a upbringing did you have? And I need to know all of this stuff. Like, it's just ridiculous.
And that's why we have to ask the right questions when we meet people.
Oh, yeah.
Because next thing you know, now you over here and it made a whole house, a whole family, a whole child
with this
with
person.
Somebody crazy.
Ooh.
And you ain't know.
That's scary.
It is scary.
That is scary.
You just don't know what kind of demons they really have.
Exactly. Because people are, crazy. And they will deceive you. So.
I would like to take you on a date. Okay, can you go get a mental health screen?
On the real, let's go together.
And then,
listen, then we could possibly go out. But maybe. I need to see what your mind looking like. Cause it's
everybody want to know what your wallet looking like? No, I want to know what that mind do.
What that mind do. Because it's real out here. And it's really crazy. And even, you know, this, like I said, like we said earlier, that this shows up on TV too. So thinking about like Insecure and Chad's character and how he is very much so like entitled and does whatever he wants. Like even on the last episode where Lawrence is asking him like, how'd you get your fiance back? And he like, well, I had to beg, I had to do all this stuff, had to watch Project Runway. But it's like, bro, you cheated on her with 2 strippers, like, and you thought that was
Chad
okay.
was wilding out.
Chad was.
And then our best boy friend started wilding out too. Lawrence was out there wilding out. He
was wilding like.
And then he got hit
with the clap. He got hit with the clap, and that's what he get.
And then he want to go to church and be saved and give his life to God. Now that he done got the cooties.
Listen, exactly. And he should have listened to Tasha at the Bank when she told him like, dude, you not this guy. Like, stop trying to be like Chad. You're not like him. Like, you gonna get yourself hurt because this is not who you are.
The nurse was like, yeah, next time you's gonna know.
Right. Like, they're out here, they're everywhere, bro. Like, what are you doing? So it's showing up everywhere. But I hope that, you know, we come into some educational services. I mean, these are the type of conversations that we could be happening in schools, like learning about parabolas. Not so helpful, but maybe learning how to operate as far as like men and women and what's okay and what's not okay. Maybe those are conversations we need to start having in schools too, because we need to teach our kids. Unfortunately, we know that some, you know, people who have kids aren't the best parents, and they don't have those conversations with those kids, or they're gonna, you know, guys who have sons, they're gonna keep perpetuating
but that's the thing.
that.
Should that be put on the school system, or should that be your parents?
It should be both, I think.
Well, they say, how does the saying go? A child who only learns from the classroom, ain't really learning.
Really learning.
So,
and that's true.
But I agree that it should be reinforced.
It should, right? And that's what I'm saying. So it should be reinforced. But that conversation absolutely needs to be happening at home.
Well, there needs to be a standard, and I think that what we're saying collectively as a country is that number one, the standard is very loose, and number two, it's unequal.
Yeah, it's unequal like a mug.
So, Sherry Renee, you can't do this,
right? But
because I can guarantee you, if other agencies, like if it came down to like children and a person saying that they were sexually assaulted, like if a child said that they were sexually assaulted or whatever, I think that would be shut down. You know, if a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Or a volunteer did some crazy, that would be shut down. So it should be the same standard.
Yeah, for sure.
Shut it down.
For sure. But even in schools, I know that there was there is some weird culture in schools too. And I remember being in middle school and I don't remember what his role was, but it was like a dude teacher, but he was like too friendly with the kids. Like, I don't know. I can't say what was happening because I was a kid, but I do know I felt weird. It wasn't right. Like I felt weird when I would be around him and the girl. Like he was a cute teacher too. Like he was cute dude. And this is happening. Like I remember elementary school too. Like some of the like EAs or the gym teacher, whoever, like the dude teachers were cute and the girls would be like weird and they would be weird with them. So there is some weird culture within schools too, of what's appropriate and what's inappropriate with our students. And same thing, you hear all kind of reports and stories of like female teachers doing stuff for male students, and it's some weird culture in schools too, for sure. But I will say there needs to open up that conversation, and it needs to happen. What?
It's just crazy because now, okay, when you said all that made me thinking about, remember how they said the one teacher, she dressed too sexy or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that was like a big thing and had to be reviewed and all this other stuff. But it's like there's actual real, like, sexual misconduct going on. In schools. And ain't nobody saying nothing about that?
Nothing. Okay. It's crazy. Like, it's one of these little commercials with the races going on now because the person that's running for governor here in Wisconsin, he was the superintendent of Wisconsin schools too. And they were saying like, oh, well, he didn't do anything. Teacher was watching pornography like in class and he didn't fire that teacher. The teacher didn't lose their license or something. And the teacher was like commenting on middle school students' breast sizes, which, hey, that could have very well happened because, like I said, I've seen that with my own two eyes in middle school, like men teachers who were just weird, like ew. But it's crazy, like the misconduct that happens in schools too, as well. So it's just a lot of craziness. But I think that conversation
you can't send your kids nowhere
on the real. They can't go to school. They can't go to church. Well, Catholic church. I'm just saying.
You so
they can't go to some of these like basketball like camps and I'm real like particular like coaches and like who I want my kids like, to be around. Can't do nothing because people are really like the mind is messed up. And there was something. This is another of how backwards our country is going right now. But they were trying to say like pedophilia is like a choice, like it should be like in the LGBTQ community. Yes, they were trying to say that pedophilia should be a part of that, and I was just like, in what world? Like, no. And Lil Duval, he speaks on this perfectly. He was like, you let humans, like, we going too far now, like it's too much like freedom, like we could do too much to say just whatever we want. That's not okay, girl.
I was like about to have a fit. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yes. They were trying to propose pedophilia should be
part of the LGBT community.
Yes.
So we gonna throw a P in there.
We was gonna throw a P in there, and they was gonna be able to do whatever they want with children.
So I have a question. What did the LGBTQ community say about that? Because in my mind, they would be like, no, like this is crazy. Like this is not the same thing.
Yeah, the LGBTQ community was like, no, they were like, they wasn't with it. They was like, no, because that's like something wrong with y'all. Like, no, this is not the same. Like we're not one of the same. We're not in the same boats. But the pedophilia people were trying to say like, well, we can't help it.
The pedophilia people, they have a whole community.
Yeah, it's a whole community of them. And they was trying to say like, we can't help it. Like this is how we were born. Like type stuff.
You know what they do say that is some sort of condition, because I remember there was a girl who was she was attacked and taken away from her family for like 15 years or something like that when she was a child, and then she conceived a child, and the guy who abducted her had a wife, and she said that they would go to the park together and she would act like she was taking pictures of like trees or whatever, but she would really be taking pictures of kids, and she was doing that for her husband.
What?
And then she said, then when the girl that was abducted had a baby, that he went to the baby and prayed over the baby and said, God, please help me so that I never hurt this baby. So it was like a compulsion or something that he said that he didn't want to do, but it was like an addiction. And so that's why he did it. And the wife was like that's when she knew, like, okay, this has gone too far.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, it went too far when you was at the daggone park taking pictures.
You was party to a crime, bro.
Like, yeah.
That sounds like a Criminal Minds episode for sure. But yeah, you was doing them. You said, okay, I'm gonna help you, babe. I'm gonna take these pictures of these kids so you could like look at them and be all weird.
And that's why you gotta have a standard, because this stuff needs, like, there's a line.
Yeah,
like I refuse to believe that the LGBTQ community would be in support of this whole pedophilia thing.
They were like, no, we're not one of the same. Like, what y'all not gonna do is try to come in with this. But and it was only a matter of time before it happened, because I feel like we're so lenient on things in this country now, where just people think that they could just do whatever they want to. But pedophilia is a no. Like, that's, I don't even understand that mentality, and it makes me sick to my stomach. For one, that I'm a parent. For two, I was sexually assaulted as a child, so it's weird. And for three, like, kids don't have nothing. Like, they don't have a shape. Like, they're just kids. I don't get it. Like, what are you attracted to?
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't get it either. But the problem that I have with the reason why it's just wrong, period. So the LGBTQ community, they, you know, whatever they choose to do is consensual.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So even if you agree or disagree or however you feel about it, at least it's consensual. Mm-hmm. So take your opinion out of it, but it's consensual.
Right. These are all grown, consenting adults. But when it comes down
to this whole pedophilia thing, these kids,
they don't know,
and they will forever be changed.
Exactly.
So I found something, because I was like, what the heck is going on with this? It says the LGBTQ community has long been maliciously associated with pedophiles by people who wish to further stigmatize us. Internet trolls are aware of this violent tradition and are taking advantage by spreading propaganda that on first glance resembles an embrace of pedophiles by the LGBTQ plus people. It's an effective tactic if we accept the false premise that there's a link between sexual predators and queer people, but there isn't, and it's time we stop meeting that propaganda on the trolls' turn. So
yeah, it's a no from them.
Wow,
they like don't. We're not one of the same. Don't try to. But I think you just said it best. It's consenting.
Yeah, so it says that I guess a month ago, Central Oregon Pride organizers were targeted by a campaign that distributed fake posters claiming that NAMBLA was sponsoring an event along with the Human Dignity Coalition and LGBTQ plus advocacy group in Oregon. So I think that that's kind of where that came from, is they're saying, like, these are our people. Like, I guess the pedophilia group is saying, like, oh, these is our people. Because and you know, I guess that was kind of smart, right? because LGBTQ community is very accepting of whoever you are, whatever your sexuality is, whatever. They'll add another letter for you if you want.
We got you.
Right. We got y'all.
Right. We got y'all.
It's gonna be the A through Z community in a minute.
We gonna add some more stuff.
Right, but that's what, you know, they're like, hey, you want to come up with another term?
Right.
Hey,
but I'm glad they drew the line. Like,
but I'm glad that they drew the line too, because that's some crazy stuff.
Yeah. No means no. Right. Y'all not with us.
Because I don't like really protest against anything.
Right.
But I will take a hard stand.
Oh, girl, I'm on the front line. Like, oh, hell no.
Like, that's crazy.
Y'all tripping.
That is crazy, because you are literally manipulating and forever changing
children.
Yes, like mentally, emotionally.
There are stages to this
like,
the sexual psyche. Like, there are stages to that, and if you get on it too early, like, it skews everything from that point.
Yeah.
And you cannot do that, because, again, like, I'm always thinking about me, like, to think of the woman that I would be if that had not happened to me. Like, I wouldn't have been so promiscuous at one point. I would have done none of that stuff. But once you're exposed to it, it's like, then you forever think
you can
that
never
this is okay.
undo
You
that.
cannot change it.
You can
can't
never
fix
undo
it.
that.
And
now everything is coping with it.
Absolutely. It's coping.
Everything going forward is, how do I cope with it?
It's coping with it, for sure. So it's just like, once you open that Pandora's box, there is no closing it.
I'm still out of shot. Like, when you said that, like, I thought I was gonna have a seizure.
Yeah, you was like, you was moving like you was moving like an Apple iPhone when the new one come out.
I was Shouts out to iTunes and Apple. And
we love y'all for real. But no, when I seen that, and I think I saw it on Lil Duval page first, he was just like, y'all, the end of times is here. Like, this is what's happening.
Okay. If this whole pedophilia thing becomes a real thing,
yeah, I'm moving to Canada.
I'm moving to Canada too.
I'm already on it. Like,
I'm about to start setting stuff up.
Girl,
and get my exit strategy.
Listen, I'm already on it.
Oh
like,
my goodness,
Drake will accept
that
this with open arms.
That cannot be a thing. That I will not accept that.
It's just,
that is not okay.
Like, how? What in the privilege do you have to think that that's okay? Anyway, kids.
Wow.
Little kids.
So then where do we draw the line? Because I thought that when it came to pedophilia, that men or whoever committed that act had to be like registered sex offenders.
They do.
So then
but they're trying to overturn that, right? Then they're trying to overturn that to say like, well, we cannot choose. Well, we can't help it. Like, this is what we like. So it's like, we can't help that.
Okay, so that's why it's very smart for them to link themselves with the LGBT,
right?
Because they have the same.
They have that
premise.
choice. Mm-hmm.
They have the same premise that we were born this way.
Yep.
You need to accept us. This is how God made us,
and that's
love
how they're
love.
going. That's exactly where they're going with that.
Let us be free.
Yep.
And then we ain't gotta hide about it, and we ain't gotta do all this other stuff.
We could just be with our 7-year-old boo and just be out here. I don't understand. Again, I don't get it. Like, they're a kid, or maybe because I have a kid, or people who don't have kids.
I don't have kids,
and
I almost had a seizure
you're
when
disgusted.
You said that.
Like, they're
like now, I don't want to have kids now.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what?
It's too much going on in this world.
Right.
On the real,
I got nieces and nephews. That's good enough.
It's disgusting in this
crazy.
world. Like, it really is crazy. And for me, it's just like, I don't. Then it's got to be something in their mind. Like, I don't see anything attractive about a child. Like,
well, then
zero.
what about like incest and stuff like that?
Girl, ew, that's wild.
Hey, we said a lot of stuff that was wild here today. Because I'm like, I mean, is that? Oh my god, I just don't. I don't know.
That is so not like.
I don't know.
Your own child, like, you're sexually attracted to your own kids, and
Oedipus complex, and
and that's really weird. That those are true, but then to like, I feel like a part of psyche, because I feel like some kids will like really be like, oh, like, I want to marry my dad, or like, it's like small stuff, but that's what they see. But if that continues, then something is wrong there. Like,
I wonder, have there ever been any okay, so back in the day when people would come out, or I guess not even come out, but when they would be when people would find out that they were gay or lesbians or whatever, they would say that something was it was a mental illness.
Yeah.
Is what they would say.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm wondering, has there ever been any studies in terms of pedophilia linked to some sort of mental illness, or some sort of manipulated cell, or anything like that?
It really has to be something. It has to be. Like, I would love to see Chanel, a brain of somebody who has.
If something happens where, well, number one, shout out to the LGBTQ community for saying no, that's not
for standing up, right? Like,
right. It was like, now we will add a letter. We do accept everybody. Right. Love is love, but not pedophiles. Not like, y'all. We accept everybody except for y'all. They was like, look, we'll take blacks.
They excluded them. The most inclusive group was like, no.
The most inclusive group was like, hell no.
Y'all gotta stay over there. Y'all tripping.
Oh God. Shouts out to them for that.
Yes, because
oh my God.
Yeah, they really tried to latch on, and they was like, what y'all not gonna do?
Right.
Is latch on.
They put their hands up and was like, we don't even know them.
Yeah, like,
we ain't never seen them.
Ain't no
we don't know
in
them.
the alphabet.
Right.
I cannot.
We'll accept A through Z except P.
No, ain't no P.
You know how they be like A, I, O, U, and Y, and sometimes Y? They was like, never
ain't
P.
No P, yeah. No P's around here. Mm-mm. So,
keep that P, we'll take everything else.
Everybody else.
Literally, lowercase, uppercase, black, white, pink, yellow.
None of that.
We is not going to take them pedophiles. But yeah,
when I seen that, I was just like, okay, now.
I'm scared.
Where's the rapture? Because we taking this too far now.
Like, that is alarming to me.
It is. And it's people people out
I'm about
here
to go
who,
get my tubes tied.
Yeah, it's people out here who really own that. Like,
I'm trying to get my tubes tied.
and that's me too. Like, having a kid, I'm really like trying to shield and monitor like what he watches, what he sees, like.
And then if that becomes a real thing, then like, are they gonna show it on TV? Are they going? You know how they? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, how does that evolve? Is there a pedophile marriage or a symbol or a walk or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no.
You know how we have like Pride Fest and everything else? That's why I'm so glad that community said, hell no. Because that's not okay.
Because it would slowly start to show up in those, like, we having a pedophilia rally. No, we out here with our children base. I don't understand this at all.
And then it's like pedophile clubs.
Right.
Like, how does this take form and escalate?
No,
that's alarming.
No, not kids, because kids, again, they don't have the mental capacity to consent. So it's a no way, not kids. Like, no, I don't like it.
Right, kids don't even know when they really need a nap.
Listen,
so no, they can't
right. Kids don't know nothing. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And then to make it worse, you like looked at your child. Shout out to Chanel's son who's here in the studio with us, who just got the most evilest look from his mom.
Kids don't know nothing. They just kids. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I would, and now I see, where my mom is coming from. Like, I will kill somebody about mine. Like, you gotta die. Like, you not finna change him or touch him or any of that. You gotta die. Ain't no going to jail for you. I have to kill you. You gotta be wiped away from this earth. I'm sorry. So, yeah.
I know years ago, wasn't there, like, talk about, like, putting people who are pedophiles, like, in their own island or something weird like that? Like, wasn't that a thing?
Oh, God. Oh, now, where are we getting the money for this island, though?
Yeah, who's funding that?
Oh, real. Right. Send black people to our own island, because we need to get away. Like, if we fund an island.
Yeah, I know. Like, let's get an island for people who just want to, who can't deal with stuff like that. That's what I need.
Like, if we fund an island, hey, black, we can take our reparations.
We just gonna take a part of the U.S. and make it its own, like... we gonna break away.
We need to and swag surf and do what our best.
We gonna do all our little black rituals.
Yes, live our best lives. That could totally be our reparations. Just give us a little piece of land. We could be out here living our best lives, swag surfing. Take away our college debt too. That would be love. And all is forgiven on my end. And we can get those things.
I'd like to add in a credit card bill or two.
Hey, I'm with it. Can you pay off some debt? Pay off all of our debt. Like, wipe away all of our debt. That could be credit cards, student loan, car debt, whatever you got. Just take it away, and all is forgiven on my end. I'll forgive y'all, America. Okay, that's all I need.
Man,
but yeah. It's crazy times we live in, but we definitely need to really further, and I'm serious about that, like, there needs to be some conversations, men amongst men, about this toxic masculinity society that we are living in, because it's not just a black man thing, it's not just a white man thing, it's a man thing, and we need to be open and honest about what this toxic masculinity looks like and how we can change it, for sure.
So I was trying to figure out, like, what the mix is between, like, for pedophiles, like, is it black men? Is it white men?
Like the demographic of it?
Yeah, because in my mind, like, when I hear pedophile, I always think an older white man.
I do too. All the time.
That's what comes to mind. But
all the time. Like creepy old white dude.
Yeah. Like, do we do that?
Right. Is it a black people thing? Girl, listen, I'm sure, because some people got some creepy uncles.
Is the sex offender really white? Yes, this group is more racially proportionate to the general population than, say, drug offenders. But like every other criminal population, people convicted and punished for sex crimes are disproportionately African American.
Oh, Lord. So we get caught and go to jail.
Well, it's not really that we get caught, because remember... So most of the stories that we hear about women who were, or I should say girls, who were held captive for years and years, typically somebody reported them. They reported that they heard either girls in the house. Like, there's always whenever they unveil the story, they always had officers come by, sometimes 27 times. Sometimes they even came by and searched the house, but they never would find anything, so they would leave. So I don't want to say that they get caught. I think that what it is that when it's because of the prejudice that exists in our justice system, that when someone makes a claim, I think that the punishment is always very rash and very harsh.
Okay.
When you're African American, because of the prejudiceness. So I think that the assumption when we are accused of a crime is that we're guilty.
Yeah.
But when a white man is accused of a crime, it's we got to investigate,
right,
and we checked it out, ma'am.
Right.
Everything was fine. But meanwhile, you could be doing anything while black.
Right.
And that in itself is a crime.
That's it. All the crime is you're black.
Right.
Basically.
Right now we podcasting while black. Who's to say anything could happen?
Right. Come up in here and get shut down.
Hell, right now I just learned that pedophiles is trying to become part of the LGBTQ community.
You learn something new every day.
Man,
that's crazy.
That's some stuff right there.
It's real though. Like that's what we doing in 2018. This is when we're like 60, 70, 80 years old, to think back on this time to be like, man, it was crazy. Like 2018 was crazy.
Right, man.
So yeah. I'm just, stay prayed up, because that rapture, we might have to start over, y'all, because it's crazy.
Yeah, so everybody give your life to God.
For real.
Get right. Do all of that, because that's crazy.
It's a little crazy out here now.
That's crazy. I'm scared.
Girl, scared for our children. So if you don't got kids already, you might not want to do that, because it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my tubes tied. Take them out. Just take out the fallopian tube. Take them out.
I don't need it. I don't need it, y'all.
them.
So, yes. But no, it's going to be interesting to think back and be like, I remember when I was 30 and, 45 was president.
We ain't gonna remember nothing.
Listen, I remember
we gonna be listening to this podcast like,
real. Like, oh, that's what happened? No, I'm gonna remember it. Like, man, it was a crazy time. It was crazy out here. So
we probably gonna be, sitting on the porch with our next door neighbor who's a pedophile. Apparently,
we might be with his 8-year-old boo. Right? Who knows? We might. It's gonna be crazy. They gonna be on TV and having their little parades and festivals. We gonna be like, no, I remember a time and this wasn't allowed. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move. Like, I'm gonna be like, can we do the separate but equal thing again?
Right.
Like, let's do that.
I've been with it. Like
we give us a part of the United States. People that are not with that, like, and we could just go
whoever
there.
Was like, we need to integrate. That was not the right idea. Like, separate but equal was cool with me. We could have kept it like that. We would have been straight. Like, stop wanting to sit at the table. We will create our own table. We don't need this.
That's crazy.
So
I'm scared.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. What goes in the to-go box?
2018 was a hell of a year. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, like I said, I'm really passionate about this, and it could possibly be because I have a son, but to really have these open conversations about what toxic masculinity is and how we can change this rape culture that we have, we really need to sit down and have that disheartening and hurtful conversation that, it is too common. It is too prevalent, and we do treat women like we just objects or playthings, and we got to get serious about what women truly are to this world. So I think we really need to start having those conversations, and hopefully we do. I mean, I'm doing it in my house. I'm doing my part with my son, and hopefully other people are doing their parts with their kids, and we can have those conversations in schools and make it better, because I want my kid to respect women and to love women, not to just think that there's something that he could just look at and play with.
Hey, I couldn't say it any better myself.
All right.
That holds true for me too. But also just the fact that we not just gonna keep accepting everything.
Oh no.
Like, man, big ups again to the LGBTQ community for saying we accept everybody but not them.
Not those peas over there.
We said we love everybody. Love is love. We accept anything. Blacks can come. Everybody.
Even the blacks
can come. Don't nobody like black people. Like, that's the worst thing to be. But they drew the line. They was like,
we'll let you
We'll let the blacks in. But we gonna draw a line with the pedophiles.
No,
y'all gotta stay over there.
Y'all tripping.
They was like, hell no. to the no.
Are you crying?
Yes, well, shout out to them for that, because I'm scared. I did not know that.
Girl, listen. It's
I feel like we got to, like, organize something.
Right, we got to stop you pedophiles by any means
I feel like the
necessary.
church and the LGBTQ community is about to come together.
We got to, for real, because we got to stop y'all.
And we going to be like, we can't do this.
Like,
so look, we'll accept y'all.
We've never been allies, but
right.
now we got to be
Today,
allies, because y'all tripping.
Man, that is crazy.
For sure. Y'all is really tripping. But yeah.
Yes.
I can't.
But alrighty, thanks for tuning in to Brunch with Besties podcast. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks, guys, for listening to Brunch with Besties podcast. Be sure to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, now YouTube and Google Play. Basically, we airware. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a review and rate us. We would so appreciate that. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to find us on Twitter. Our handle is BrunchWBesties. On IG, you can find us at Brunch with Besties Podcast. And if you like, you can shoot us an email. Our Gmail is brunchwithbestiespodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Peace.